Hi guys. All right, I'm gonna do a really quick video on how to cut back or make cuttings from a pothos plant. So this is my golden pothos, and I also have a mixed or variegated pothos plant. I have some really big leaves on some of it. So there's one of my really big leaves. Here's another one with, this is my hand, so this is as long as my hand, and then this is like a smaller leaf, so if you can kind of judge how big it is. But anyway, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stand back so you can see how long this is, and it'll stretch even longer, but I don't have the space for it, so I just have it, I'm letting it curl up in the middle of the floor here to keep it from stretching across my entire living room because I don't have the space. And I wanted to still be able to get sunshine, even though it doesn't need it, but I like for it to get sunshine. It likes to get in the window here, as you can see. It likes to just get in the blinds because I move this every day. Every day when I close the blinds, it still finds its way in between these in the slats here. So I know it likes sunshine, so I don't move it away from the window. But anyway, so I'm gonna take a vine here. This one here has a lot of space in it, so I'm not gonna cut this one. I'm gonna take one like this one. I'm gonna take this one and I'm gonna cut this one back. So I will cut this one, and I'm not gonna cut the whole thing. I'm just gonna take part of it, and you see it has these little knobs on it. This is what I'm gonna be cutting. So I'll cut a piece of it off, and then I'll be back to show you how I'm gonna cut it. Okay, now I cut this piece off. So this is fairly large part of the vine, and I probably shouldn't have cut this because it was growing a new piece, but it's fine. It's going to continue to grow because I'm going to stick this in water once I cut it down. So let's go ahead and start chopping this up, and you'll see what I'm going to do. Okay, so the first thing I did was I just got like a little glass container, and I filled it up with some water. It's just tepid water right at the faucet. I normally water my plants with distilled water. I do not buy distilled water. I just fill up a jug of water and I let it sit for a day or two before I use it. That's distilled water, so that's what I use. But for this, I'm using water right out the faucet. So anyway, now to start cutting up the plants, this is what I'm gonna do. This thing gets, it gets so tangled. So now, come on. All right. So everywhere that you see a little knob, see these little knobs? I'm trying to get it where you can see it, guys. It's so hard because this one isn't that long. So everywhere you see one of these little knobs hanging here, the little knob, you want to cut there. You want to cut just above it or below it. So for this, well, I'm gonna cut below it, cut that off, because I want this to stick in the water. So I'm gonna cut, hold on. I'm gonna cut right here above it because there's one growing off of that, and I want this to stick up. So I'm gonna cut just like this. See that? How it's hanging? And I'm gonna stick that in the water. And I'm gonna do some cleaning up later. Now, I have another little knob growing right here. It's very small and tiny. I gotta do this better. So, there's another little knob right here. You see it sticking off? So I'm gonna cut down under that. There's a bigger knob right here where the plant is coming off. I want both of those. So I'm going to cut, how do I want to cut this? I gotta make it where I can get it. So I'm gonna cut right up here. Cut up here. Actually, I'm gonna cut it right there because I want this to grow. So I want my flower to hang off, and I'm gonna stick this in the water. So I'm gonna cut this off, and I have knobs. This does not have any flowers for a while. I don't need flowers on it for this to grow. So I'm gonna cut this up high, stick this in the water. Just these knobs, just stick it in the water. Cut that off, no flowers, stick this in the water. Just like this, stick it in the water. We'll straighten it up later, don't worry about it. I ain't worried about this little knot right here, but this has a flower on it, so I'm gonna cut this here. And I'm going to snip this right there. And I'm gonna stick this in the water, just like that. I know it's not perfect. I know this is not everybody's method, but this is how I do mine. I've done it several times, and I've made several plants this exact way. Now, and it just keep doing this same thing, and that's all it is. And stick it in the water. And I'm gonna do it again. Stick this in the water. I'm gonna cut this down a little bit more, just so it's right at the root where that knob is. See that knob hanging off? I'm gonna stick that in the water. And my container is a little bit too big, but by the time I cut this whole plant, that's gonna be packed. So you don't have to worry about it standing up. Well, I don't have to worry about it standing up, so. Anywho. And like I said, I've done this so many times, it's ridiculous. And I'm gonna cut all these back, so it's just this. So some of mine look a little weird now, because I'm just showing you guys what I'm doing. But I'm cutting the stems off. Well, this is what my cuttings are gonna look like, just like this. Just like that. I'm trying to save some of the knobs that are on there, but you don't have to. So if you want to just make it cleaner and just get rid of the stem in between, my stem that was at the bottom, because it was growing knobs on it. That's why I was trying to save that. But up higher, where the plant is older, there are no knobs. So it's just straight stem and leaves. See where my leaves are bigger? There is no knobs on it. So I can cut it straight and there's nothing. So I can cut straight to a root here, or knob, and a leaf. And that's it. And I'll put this straight in the water. And there was a new one growing right here. I'm not going to disturb that, so I'm just going to cut it right here. Because I have a small knob right here. Very small. And I'm going to stick that in the water. And it's going to keep growing. Gonna keep on growing. I'm going to take this part off. That knob is right here. You see it? Right there. And I'm just going to cut it. There's another knob right there. It's three more on there. So I'm going to stick that in there too. Anyway, so that's it. And that's how you do it. So I'm going to finish this and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. All right. So this is the finished product. This is what it looks like. And this is how it looks from the side. Well, let me get a better view. Hold on, let me get a better view. Well, this is how it looks. So you have all your things in there. Get a closer up on it. So you got all your stems down in there with your roots on it. And what this is gonna do is it's going to grow roots So give it about 2 to 3 weeks and you should start seeing roots on it. It'll look like roots. It's like, you know, like bean sprout roots. That's what it's going to look like. And it'll take about, like I said, about 2 to 3 weeks. And it'll start rooting. You want them to get probably about 1.5 inches long. And then you could put it in soil. Put it in good soil. Don't put it in bad soil. You know, get you some Miracle Grow or something like that. And put it in soil and just put it in a pot. Start off in a smaller pot first. And then once it gets big, like how I showed you mine looks, then you can put it in a bigger pot. But start off in a small pot first so it's not like overwhelmed. And then, like I said, I only water mine. I water mine once a week with, like I said, that distilled water. I put food sticks in it, plant food sticks in it, probably twice a year. And once mine got big, I put about 4 to 5 of those little sticks in there in a big pot. But when it was small, I only put 2 in there. And I do that twice a year. And that's it. I don't do anything else to it. I just leave it alone. They don't like to be bothered. So you don't have to like bother the plant a lot. They are, you know, very good house plants. You don't have to do anything to them. Just if you see some like yellow leaves on them or something like that, you can take those off because, you know, of course, with the whole photosynthesis thing and stuff like that, you know, that takes energy from the plant. So you want to remove dead leaves and stuff. But other than that, you don't have to do nothing to it. They take care of themselves. So, but that's how you cut a plant or whatever. And I could still cut that plant 5 more times and we'll still have plenty of vines on it. But I just wanted to do it, show you guys how to do that. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment. Share the video with anybody you feel that needs to know or wants to know. Bye, guys.